Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Notre Dame fans. Regardless of whenever you're watching, it could be the morning, it could be the afternoon, it could be the evening. If you're watching live, watching back, podcast, whatever the case may be, thank you for making us a part of your day. I'm Mike Singer. With me is Tim Hyde. We're gonna be talking some Notre Dame football and recruiting as we do each and every week in the Tuesday slot during the football season. Folks, this show is sponsored by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Now has a Mishawaka location opening on September 29th. Carries all the gear you need from top brands, all at prices you'll love. Shopping there is more convenient than ever. They offer free assembly on in-store purchases of most bikes and grills, plus free and easy curbside pickup on academy.com order. So check it out, academy.com. Tim, how the hell are you, my friend?
Oh, good to go. Good to go. Let's talk some ball. Let's talk some Notre Dame football. Let's see what we got going on here. See what the Singer hot topics are for the show. There's some fun ones. I mean, it's exciting. It just confirmed the AP poll. We got coaches poll, AP poll, classic top 10 game in game one, which is just going to be a blast. So, yeah. Really excited about that.
Let's look at the AP poll. That's what we got first. So the top 10 in order: Texas, Penn State. I remember after the season ended, you were like, man, you were like, Penn State's going to be number one. I'll give you number two is damn close. Ohio State 3, which Penn State robbing every one of a top 2 showdown to start the season, which I don't think has ever happened. Clemson 4, Georgia 5, Notre Dame 6, Oregon 7, Bama 8, LSU 9, Miami 10. And then folks watching on YouTube, you can see the entire top 25. So reaction to this, Tim?
Oh, I mean, like I said, to me, it's all about game one. We got game one, so let's just dive into that bad boy. You got a top 10 battle. Obviously, Miami, people could say what they want about them. They still got a lot of damn good athletes, big-time transfer quarterback. Might be the best O-line, them and A&M. First 2 games they'll play. Defensive line's got some NFL guys on it, so I like it as the old-time guy chatting here. That's 4 straight games in South Beach. We call it South Beach, but we know the game's not on South Beach. But in general, 87 was the top 10 game, 89 a top 10 game, 2017 a top 10 game, and now you got 25 a top 10 game. So that's really exciting. Texas, I'm telling you, obviously Arch is the hype machine, no doubt about it. But man, they have lost a lot of good football players. Now, obviously, Sark being there and he's recruiting at a crazy pace, taking the Saban model. Just, can they just reload and go after it this year? That's interesting. Penn State, man, we've talked about them forever, either in recruiting the Orange Bowl. People can say what they want about polls, but this is a projection on this season, and you're always going off of who's returning. Penn State's got a lot of damn good football players returning. They got a 3-year quarterback. They might have the offensive, the preseason favorite to win the Joe Moore with the O-line. Sure, they lost a tight end. Big deal. They got 5 others that are waiting to get drafted. They've had an amazing run at tight end lately. So same thing, DN, right? They've had multiple DNs get drafted. They're going to have another one get drafted next year. So just carry on there. Ohio State, freaks. They're stacked every damn year. We'll see what they do. Clemson, I'm very excited for them. I think they got a hell of a football team. The most production returning, 90% of their production last year is returning. So, and in college football, I'm a big believer in D-line, wide receivers, quarterback, and they're stacked at those 3 spots. So, in Notre Dame, Georgia, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really studied a lot of Georgia much. Curious to see what they have because, man, they've been stacked with NFL guys the last 4 years. At Notre Dame, I always had them a top 5. I would have put them ahead of I have no problem with the top 4. I would have put Notre Dame at 5, I think, but 5, 6, 7, we've talked about them. They're in that range this whole time. So, it's pretty exciting. And real quick, just off of the poll, as a Notre Dame fan, this is 6 out of 7 years. They've been preseason, it's top 10. Yeah. Preseason top 10, which is pretty cool. The most ever is 8 in a row. Holtz did it, and Frank Leahy had 8 in a row. So those are the most ever. So
what was the highest one they've had recently? It was it 22 or 23 or something?
yeah, well, 22 they were number 5, which was obviously that was Buckeyes and Marshall. Like, yeah, you're not top 5. And then Brian, hold on 5 seconds here.
Yeah, Tim's probably got a sticky note.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Kelly he was 9, 10s. Those were his highest. The highest post Holtz was 06 with Brady Quinn his senior year in 2006. They were preseason number 2. So, and then like I said, Holtz had a run of 8 years in a row in the top 10 to start the year. So pretty, dude, I got, once again, the Teamy Hyde research project. I went all the way back to the beginning of the AP poll to see Notre Dame's polls. And it's pretty exciting.
Were we,
looking at the history of it.
Were we talking about the coaches poll, or was it Brett McMurphy's poll?
Yeah.
Or something. And I did this number, Tyler James. That was really funny. Where's USC?
Well, they're not there.
No, there's USC. Too bad. Yeah, I mean, obviously, my first thought on this was, the top 10 Notre Dame opening on the road against a top 10 team. And then number 2 and number 5, Notre Dame beat those 2 teams last year.
But
I thought that was... What's that? Yeah, that is last year. I just think that's a cool thing. I think that's a cool thing to look at. And then, so On3 tweets this out. And then I quote tweet it and say thoughts on Notre Dame at number 6. I got 150 responses.
Check this out.
And a lot of people saying should be number 1, Notre Dame at 6, too low. I think it's fair. I mean, I'm not going to show all of them, but I feel like scrolling through, it was like, well, some people just giving me the I don't care about okay.
They do matter. They do matter, which is interesting.
I'm like, okay.
I mean, they do matter because it sets the tone and so many times. I mean, oh my God, come on, where's the
all right? As I'm scrolling this, like most of these comments are actually pretty level-headed, but I maybe they're at the bottom. Maybe Twitter puts them in an algorithm, but it was just like too low, horrible. I'm like, number 6 to be ranked number 6 in the country is pretty damn good. Like that. I mean, it's pretty damn high. I mean, 6. That's a lot of respect, man.
Like I said, number 5 was just Freeman hype, and 22. Obviously, they weren't that. See, I mean, this is the highest preseason ranking, Mike, since 2006, as I'm trying to yap here too quick, with Brady Quinn. This is their highest ranking since then. So, it does matter. The hype is real. That's what everyone's looking at. I mean, my God, Mike, I was going through people. I mean, we've had some bad football, Mike. Can you imagine if we did shows back then? It was horrible. Bob Davie is 5 years, never was preseason top 10. Never. Willingham, 0 for 3. Mike, they went like 8 straight years without being ranked until that Weiss year in 06. A lot of bad football. Brian Kelly's first time being ranked in the preseason top 10 was 16. They were 10 and they ended up losing to Texas and Austin. The great 2015 team they have. People talk about that. Obviously, SI had them on the cover and all that stuff, but they were number 11 in the AP, so they weren't even getting hype from that. But I saw someone in the chat saying Clemson. He thought Clemson, it was the sniper, my buddy, the sniper. He thought Clemson and Penn State too hot. I say no, because they're really good at so many of the positions in the depth. You're looking at the poll, and Eric Hansen did a great job talking about this, is his projection for this season. This is who you have, and you're always doing a poll on who's returning the most guys. And let's be honest, Notre Dame would probably be higher if we had, if people knew who the hell was going to be the quarterback, and no one knows. All these other teams, we know who the quarterback is. Notre Dame, it's the ultimate unknown. And just real quick, Mike, I just went back to the poll, the playoff era, 2014. Every single national champion has been, people in polls don't matter. Every national championship, 2014 to 24, preseason top 6. Number 1 has only won it once, 2017 with Bama. The lowest was number 6, LSU in 19. Notre Dame 6 this year. So Notre Dame's in the running. The most, which scares the hell out of me, number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 was won it 4 times. It said between 14.
That's Tim Hyde's hell right there.
Oh, it is. And by the way, the last 2 national champions, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 2, Penn State number 2. I kid you not, if Penn State wins a title before Notre Dame, I'm going to be a soccer fan. I'm just going to start following soccer. I'm going to start following the Sheriff of Nottingham, and that's all I'm going to do. And I'm just going to follow soccer because if James Franklin wins a national title before Notre Dame, I'm done. But the football gods, Mike, are they lining it up again for Penn State? I will lose it.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. This episode of the Notre Dame Football Show is brought to you by ESQ, seen on all your favorite Notre Dame players and coaches, and founded by Notre Dame alum Ga Wang. ESQ is your go-to spot for the best handmade custom suits, sport coats, tuxedos, shirts, and more. ESQ's master tailors combine next-level craftsmanship with the finest fabrics to deliver a fit that's built just for you. Now with showrooms both downtown Chicago and Winnetka, book your custom fitting at esqclothing.com. That's esqclothing.com. If you're wondering how Marcus Freeman looks so fly all the time, 1, it's just because he's damn good looking, and 2, it's because he's often seen rocking some ESQ suits. So check it out, esqclothing.com. All right, Tim. So you're just looking at this AP top 25 preseason poll. If Notre Dame has a quarterback who can make enough plays and just not screw things up, right? It's the difference between 11-1 and 12 or 12-0, or like
9-3.
I didn't want to say it. You said it, Tim.
I mean, we don't know. I mean,
how do you feel about it? It's the ultimate unknown that we do. Like I read everyone's comments on YouTube after the fact, right? I mean, I'll spend a few minutes a day just scrolling, and I see a lot of people say, we don't know anything. No one knows anything except for the coaches. I mean, that's mostly true, but we hear things. And guys, I'm telling you, this thing is very close. Very close. And that's what I've been hearing, right? And then I talked to Eric Hansen, who is going to put out an intel piece on the quarterbacks tomorrow. Highly recommend you read that at blueandgold.com. Talking to Eric, kind of talks about what we've been hearing. It's lining up. I was scrolling TikTok, and Pete Sampson and Matt Fortuna, they had a video they posted there. Very similar intel from what they were hearing too. Everyone kind of, and when I say everyone, I'm talking about the media, but I think those in the Notre Dame football program thought that Carr was going to run away with this thing. And I think it's maybe a combination, and this is where I'll kind of give my educated opinion after talking to folks, right? I think CJ may not be having the greatest camp, while Kenny is impressing and kind of taking his game to the next level. When Eric posts his article tomorrow morning, I'm going to follow up in the comments on the message board with some tidbits that I've heard as well. So you guys can definitely find that at blueandgold.com. But yeah, Tim, I think this is very tight. And going into fall camp, I thought CJ right now, if I had to make a bet, which I don't, I don't condone. Shout out to Oklahoma's quarterback, who's apparently a big gambler. Moneyline Mateer is I believe what they're calling him now. I would bet Kenny. I would, but it's a very tight battle right now. Tim, what's your reaction to all this?
No, it's just fascinating to sit back, watch the videos the guys put out, and obviously any articles that are going there. Obviously, chatting with you and the other guys, seeing what's going on. It's No, it's fascinating. It's there's no doubt about it. Carr was the favorite. I mean, let's just be brutally honest. And I think a lot of that, as I was telling you before the show, I've gone back over the last week and read a bunch of articles, read a bunch of stuff, the stuff that was posted, practice reports, any videos, even going back with Eric and Tyler when they did their stuff, with the Rivals network that they were on, and they did their little, their YouTube show, which was awesome. I always enjoy Eric and Tyler. It's the same thing. Every time the media would go to practice, CJ Carr was always damn good. And Kenny was like, yeah, there's Kenny over there and doing his thing. So I don't know, I know sometimes the Kenny folks Kenny wasn't being mentioned because he wasn't producing in front of the media, so to speak. And as you know, the Goog wasn't talking about Kenny because he wasn't doing anything in practice. I'm talking over the last year. Now he's exploded. And I think a lot of that comes as year 3. Could it be year 3? You go back and listen to Gino Guidugli last spring football, and he was like, yeah, Minchey's still learning the playbook. So Minchey didn't even know what the hell he was doing a year from now. Now he does know what he's doing at year 3. So I think a lot of that is all of those things rounding into one. And then if Carr was the guy, man, see, this is what I wanted. I would love to know. If Carr was the guy coming in, is his play been bad and Kenny's still being Kenny? Or has Kenny truly elevated it? I mean, we won't know until we see Miami running around and whoever at quarterback, scrambling, making plays, with his legs and arms and all that. So it's an interesting balance, right? You're like, oh, I've heard people say, well, if Kenny wins, that's awesome because that means he beat out CJ. Well, what if CJ just wet the bed all training camp and Kenny looked like me throwing football? And they're like, shit, somebody's got to play. So I was talking to a good buddy today on the phone on the road, and he was asking me about quarterback, and I was like, somebody's got to take a snap. So the spin will be out there, whatever happens. But man, Mike, we're going into this thing blind, have no clue. Real quick, just one last point is Andy Staples and Ari Wasserman did I think Hansen was on with you talking about this, or maybe posted on the message board, going back like the last 15, 16 years, or I think he posted on Twitter. And then Andy and Ari talked about it, like the last 15, 16 champs were like over half of them are new quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but they're all, but so I was like, really? But I went back and looked at all this, but these are quarterbacks that, he didn't start till his senior year, but he played in 22 games. Yeah. He didn't start as a junior, but he played in 18 games. Or he's a redshirt freshman, which is Jameis Winston and Trevor Lawrence. Those are the only true quarterbacks you could compare to Kenny and CJ. And those guys were number 1 picks, Heisman Trophy winner, and both won national champions. Every other quarterback that's won a national title has played in games. Will Howard last year played in 33 games before he went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I found that I just saw that tweet and I was like, does that make sense? So, and they went all the way back to Matt Flynn at LSU in 2007. The dude played in 30 games before he started as a senior. So you go back these 15, 16, 17 years, where the heck the data was, Lawrence and Winston are the only 2 true Minchey Carr types that have never played that have gone on to win a title. So just keep that in mind. This is gonna be a hell of a roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, from what I've told, like both have their moments, but I don't know what else to say that I haven't said, but I know that both have very, very good moments. Kenny, I think is doing really good. Like I would say emerged is a great word. I just going back to thinking about when CJ was a recruit and Charles Power and the scouting guys that on 3 dropped him from top 50 guy to, was he like 190 or 200 or something? And from what I remember off the top of my head, the what he said was kind of like the processing, like when bolts are flying, like sometimes like he will get himself into trouble. And I think the picks that he threw that first practice were maybe a little overblown, but I've heard a couple rumors that he's thrown more picks throughout fall camp. So you just wonder. I don't know. Like, is this a good thing if Kenny beats him out? That just means this, or like, what does it all mean? No idea. I mean, that I don't. I just was debating while you were talking last if I want to say this guy's name, but you would feel better. At least I would if I were a coach. The guy might hold the ball a little too long, but you know, he was steady Steve. You knew what you were getting. With CJ and Kenny right now, who the hell knows? I mean, the coaches have seen these two in practice, right?
Sure.
But between spring and now, that's the really only time they've competed. It's not like he's been in the program for 3 years and
no, you're right.
So
no, you're right. And that's going back to when you read reports a year ago, it's all about Riley and Steve as the number 2, CJ, the hotshot rookie, and Kenny still learning the playbook a year ago. And, he was never really mentioned. This spring, he started to obviously get more reps, started to make more plays. I couldn't stand the three quarterback thing. Had they cut bait with Steve a year ago, maybe, or after the season, but they didn't really know. And then Kenny, obviously, it sounds like really took off in the spring, and it happens. I mean, it's year 3. I mean, these things start to, some guys take a while. There's plenty of examples over the last 15. That list, Hansen and Ari and Andy Staples were talking about. There's plenty of guys who stepped into the roles in year 3 at other programs and won a title and started to do that. So, no, it's interesting. I mean, Kenny Minchey's super athletic. He's an athletic on the run throwing. I keep going back to his film. And just real quick, Charles Power was on our show like 18 months ago when we were talking about these two guys. And I want to say CJ ended up being on 3 rankings at the time, the on 3 guys. I want to say they had CJ 16 and Kenny 17 for their respective classes. So basically tied. They were both right around the 200 mark, basically tied. And I remember Charles on our show, he was just like, I like Kenny. He liked Kenny's quarterback skills a lot more. I think I remember in that interview we did with us.
On 3 had Kenny ranked the 17th quarterback in 2020. Was that 2, 3? What year is that? 23?
Yeah.
Carr was 16. Now
16, 17. There you go.
But this is where people get themselves in trouble looking at rankings. Carr had a 92 grade. Minchey had a 93. So just because one guy had a higher quarterback ranking, the grade is how. So they thought he was better. It's just a different quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. They're basically tied when you look at it.
It's close, but they did view.
No, he liked Minchey, and I think I remember Charles talking about that. So, hey, it's maybe it just clicked. And going back to the interviews, you don't want to read too much into all that stuff, but Kenny's very, very like motivated. Like, man, it's year 3. Things start to click. This has always been my philosophy with linemen, and it happens in multiple other positions as well.
Yeah,
year 3, man, it clicks for a lot of guys, and if it clicks for Kenny, good for him.
Yeah,
and we're going to know a lot, and it's going to be a hell of a ride. And it really, I mean, let's just be honest. Talking about the AP poll, if one of these two guys doesn't come and shine, with this brand new receiver room, who gives a damn about the AP poll? It's meaningless. So these guys have to step up.
I can see the comments already on this video after the fact and saying that we're down on it. Man, I don't think so. I think there's just a huge unknown. Which has been the case all year, Tim, but it just feels like, Tim, like when Elijah Golden committed to Notre Dame this past Saturday, when no one's flipping their picks to Oklahoma or Bama, it's like, all right, this guy lead to Notre Dame. But for this one, I'm like, I think right now Kenny might have the lead, but practice tomorrow or Thursday could really flip it. It is so close. As Pete Nakos reported yesterday, Notre Dame quarterback CJ Carr, Kenny Minchey are neck and neck with no clear separation. That is Yeah, I mean,
That's
one
what's
source I
fascinating.
talk to thinks it's Carr. The other one tells me it's Kenny. Right now, I'm leaning Kenny. But guys, I'm telling you, it's just very close. And Kenny, again, as I'll put on the board tomorrow at Blue and Gold, I'll get into a little bit more. But I think he's really coming into his own. And look, Notre Dame, I think, is better at receiver. Tim can talk about like the O-line this year compared to last year. The running backs are the same, so should be better there. Tim, we don't even have on the docket talking about Keedron Young and Kevin Bauman, so remind me, we'll talk about that. So like the tight ends, I think will be better with a healthy tight end one compared to Mitch Evans, who was hobbled and mostly a non-factor last year. I think the offense should be better, so you have better pieces, especially at the receiver position. Fields, Pauling, Greathouse, Faison, great top four. This should be, especially with the run game, should be superb. I think that this is built, like this offense could really be, like if you're going to have a rookie quarterback, like this is the offense to put around him. So like I will say, if we're going to talk about Gerby Lambert in a bit, Tim, I just want to throw this out there before I forget. If Gerby Lambert starts over Absher, that is a damn good side, because Absher, I think in the run game will be excellent for Notre Dame, especially with this Irish offense that we think is going to really want to put one of these young quarterbacks in a great situation to succeed. So they're going to run the football. If Lambert starts over Absher, that's a great sign, in my opinion. But I do think Absher will end up getting the nod. So last
Yeah,
thought on the quarterbacks before we move on.
yeah, no, I was going to say that's just going back to
And yes, Notre Dame's got an elite defense. That obviously helps.
and it's going back to an old Nick Saban. I still have it saved on my phone from like 15 years ago. Little 90-second clip on ESPN when they did the Bama days, talking about their training camp, and he had a little clip in there just talking about quarterback, man. The old, you always talk about a game manager, and he was just like, all I give a damn about is deliver the ball, be a decision maker, have accuracy, deliver the ball, whether it's a bubble screen, a fly, a quick slant, get it to the playmakers. And we believe Notre Dame has those at wide receiver more so than years past. Fields is a Miles Boykin-ish type big body on the boundary. Love Faison, Greathouse, Pauling. When he came, I talked about, I loved his film at Wisconsin. Those four dudes, I think, are as legit as could be at wide receiver. Eli's his last year. I bummed for Bauman because I thought he was going to be the number 2 guy. I don't know who's behind him. That you got Larson, the Arkansas
Washington,
guy,
yeah,
and
Washington's having a great camp.
And then a true freshman in Flanagan. So we'll see. But no, it's guys got to step up, man. It's you're basically a top 5 football team. The expectations are high as could be. You're expected to be a Final Four national title type team because the players around these quarterbacks. I do get a little nervous when you hear it's 50-50 and you're just like, you've gone through spring, summer, OTAs, 2 weeks of camp. What the hell? I mean, are you seriously? Someone's not like, I like that. They've got to be saying that in the Goog, like, man, he's making more plays. You got to go with him. They have preferences. They know who the hell they want. They just do. So you just got to go with them.
Yeah, but different coaches have different preferences.
But at the end of the day, the head football coach is the head football coach. You go to the offensive coordinator. Who the hell do you want to have? Who do you want to have the ball in their hands when it's 3rd and 6?
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, it's 3rd and 6. Who do you want to deliver the ball, scramble if it called, all those things? And it's got to be the offensive coordinator who just says, I want this guy to be my guy moving forward. I've said all along, I think 2 are going to play, but I think 2 are going to play for a lot like 2012. Golson gets hurt, Reese can come in. Golson needs a break, Reese comes in. Restarted the whole BYU game. We may see that this year. Minchey's out, Carr, bam, you got to go play. Geez Louise, who the heck are they playing this year? Navy, let's just say, or whatever. Arkansas, go, back and forth that way. But this team, and I don't want any expectations to get lower because there's damn good football players all over this place. Hell of a running back room, an O-line that's stacked. skill guys. This is the best skill group around. I mean, that Freeman's had. So go out there and kick some ass, and let's be 2-0 after those first two big monster football games.
I want to say this, and I said it last week or the week before. If you are in the Carr camp, you're like, Carr's QB1. I've been saying this for years. Carr's QB1. Or if you're in the why not Minchey camp, you just want Kenny. Kenny's my guy. I'm rolling with Kenny no matter what. Carr is the bad guy. Kenny is the good guy. Listen. If your side doesn't win, just shush. Just don't make a big fuss about it in comments and social media. Just roll with QB1. You're right. You don't need to throw shots at the other guy that you didn't root for when he throws a pick. Just roll with your Notre Dame quarterback. Okay, there you go. Yeah, root for both kids, as Tech Panthers says. Couple comments I had queued up. Johnny said, "Is decision imminent, or do we got to wait till Sunday?" Look, I think Sunday when Freeman meets with the media could be something where it's like if he meets, let's say at noon, Notre Dame puts something out at like 11. Like I could see something like that, but they could do whatever they want. I would be surprised if this leaked early, like in the media, like some national guy or Samson or somebody who leaks it early. I have a feeling it would come from Notre Dame PR. What's up, Tim?
No, I was going to say, I think Horka and the guys, Horka and Jack and Eric and Tyler, is it Friday? This Friday is like their last media thing. I can't say officially, I know. But
I can't remember.
Exactly. But I've heard him say it's kind of like this week. I think Horka said that in a video. But, so we are going to know. And it's constant. We have to know. Dude, if I'm Freeman, I don't see a damn thing. Seriously, you don't have to say anything. Why give film and anything to Miami for a couple weeks?
This is the only thing. So
it's a new year. Hold on, real quick. Everyone knew Riley, Leonard, Buckner, Cohn, blah 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 blah. Ian Book. Everyone knew who the damn quarterbacks were. We know it's Carson Beck, and they ain't got to sit Carson Beck. There's no competition. So Notre Dame has the advantage, dude. You don't have to say a damn thing. You just don't. So
you don't have. But what does that look like logistically? So it's like it's CJ. And then it's like, all right.
Why do you have to announce it?
Okay, all right. So let's play that out. But do you announce it internally?
Man, hey, people know who's who. Okay, you know who's.
So you're just gonna run Carr out there for all the first team reps and not Kenny, or vice versa, right? And then just let everyone photograph. That will leak. That leaks, and then
let it leak all you want.
And then the media reports it, and then it's like it doesn't get out there the way you want to get out there, right? I feel like Notre Dame would want to control that, but that's just kind of my thought.
It's basically a starter for game one. Let's just break it. It's a starter for game one. Anything could change after.
I like Tim talking about this from the coach angle, and then Mike talking about this from the. I've been in media for 12 years.
You don't have to say a damn thing. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's gotten to a point where all we hear is the 50-50. Screw it. If I'm Freeman, hey, man, it's 50-50 till Sunday night on the 31st.
Yeah, but you want
the
that
kids know,
right?
Say the kids, the team, the players know. Who gives a damn?
I'm telling you.
If I'm Billy Sprout, all I give a damn about, am I blocking the A gap or B gap on this play? I don't get, who cares who the freaking quarterback is? If I'm Jeremiah Love, okay, am I stepping right or left on inside zone?
Yeah, but you want to know that for the leadership, who your quarterback is.
But they know that already. I mean, neither of these guys.
I'm saying if they do know it, it's going to get out there, and then I think Notre Dame wants to be the ones to put it out there. And for that's my thought on it. Tex ND says Twitter seems to have a lot of people saying it's Minchey. Well, if Twitter said it, then it must be true. We all know that.
Hey, people are just saying there's nobody, man. You got all I keep hearing is it's 50-50, it's even as heck. Whatever the hell that means. To me, that means no one's winning this thing. That's what scares the hell out of me, but we can move on.
Quinn says, let's just go with Buckner and call it a day.
Exactly. QB power, little dink and Duncan, we'll attack. Let's go.
Just don't throw any, hitches to the outside.
Boundary hitches, man. Vatek pick 6. Marshall, no boundary hitches. No boundary hitches.
I think the Vatek one was a wider. I feel like that one.
No, it was boundary. It was boundary to Colsey. It was boundary to Colsey.
I Okay.
And it was a pick. And real quick, I know we're talking real quick, and I got PTSD here. It's like the Marshall one, dude. He's got Mike Mayer wide open for just a little 5-yard out to the wide side. He catches it, game's over. But no, let's throw it to the boundary. But anyway, we'll move on.
I'm gonna have to look up that Virginia Tech one.
Right,
later.
it's to his right.
Folks, let's talk about another sponsor for today's show, and it is a longtime favorite of Blue and Gold's. It is Augie's Locker Room, the unique, one-of-a-kind shop to find Notre Dame memorabilia that you really can't find anywhere else. It's located at 1733 North Ironwood Drive in South Bend, just down the street from Notre Dame. So football season around the corner. If you're coming in for a game, or if you're local, or you're driving through South Bend for whatever reason, make just time for Augie's Locker Room. I have a wide selection of Notre Dame Stadium pieces, jerseys, helmets, autographs, helmets, and one-of-a-kind Rockney items. You can find exclusive Joe Montana sign items and famous sculptor Jerry McKenna's replicas of the bronze statues around the stadium. Check it out, augieslockerroom.com, 574-277-6363. That's 574-277-6363. Visit augieslockerroom.com for more information. I mean, Bernie is just on one. I love Kenny, but he's not starting unless he. I mean, goodness.
No, it's right here. It's the right boundary. I just found it. Just man, he threw it right.
Can you show me?
He threw it right to his belly button.
Put it up on screen. I want to see it.
How do you do that?
Just are you looking on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Just do this. Oh, there's my baby. Just show me. I want to see it. Okay. All right. There's a touchdown, Kyron.
Yeah, hold on. Right here. Right hash.
Damn you. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Bam. There you go.
Is that not this?
All right. Let's delete that. There we go.
All right. No one needs to see that. Thank you, Tim. Yeah. How did you pull that up quicker than I could?
Hey, man. Skills. I've coached a few. I've watched a little bit of film in my day. I know where to go.
All right. So just real quick, Tim. Actually, I already know your answer. The next thing on the topic list was, when does Notre Dame need to have a quarterback name? But we just talked about that. So
Tim says, let's go.
Tim says, don't. I think, you heard what I think.
Hey, if Freeman is a fan of the media, he doesn't name anything. He just lets people just keep building it up out there.
Tim, it's great either way for media. It's like you let this thing go on. I mean, great. We have more to talk about in opine. And Tim, you're media now too. Just throw you in there.
I'm a family man scrambling to get here 2 minutes before we hit play. That's what I am.
And then yeah, if they announce it tomorrow, it's like, all right, cool. It's rock and roll. And just end the, just end it. And I would look forward to that as well, just selfishly. Tim, let's shift gears real quick to, we might end the show talking recruiting. Let's move to freshmen, because I have that in the headline of this. I want to make sure we do that. Notre Dame is so loaded at so many spots that they don't need to play any true freshmen, but like in years past, maybe they relied, like they just had no other choice than to play some true freshmen. And folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel for more content. But they may have some guys who are just too good to keep off the field. Some names to know. I think Will Black might be, if you have a starting 5, and then like a Gerby Lambert is 6. I think Will Black might be like 7 or 8. So I think he is someone you probably won't see, but Will Black is having a great camp. Elijah Burris has done very, very well. I know the clip of him torching the walk-on corner went viral, but still, Burris has had a great camp. Nolan James Jr., I mean, very unfortunate with Keydron Young going down with the ACL injury. Thoughts and prayers with Keydron. Nolan James now running back 4. And yeah, or well,
He's
do they
4.
have 6 scholarship running backs with Payne? I always forget about Payne. So you got obviously J Love and Jay Price, and then Aeneas and Jabran Payne. So
Yeah.
Nolan James could be in that 4 spot. He legitimately could beat out Payne. Like, he is very good. James Flanagan with Kevin Bauman going down, he could be right there for tight end 2 or 3 if he kind of comes along as a summer enrollee. And Blake Hebert's having a good camp, Tim. I wrote about that last week at Blue and Gold after talking to some sources. Who else? Jerome Bettis Jr., Tim. He's having a good camp. He's made some plays in one-on-ones. Scrap Richardson looks good in some clips and whatnot. Just trying to think who else. Madden Framo, Tim, I'm hearing really good things about. Could end up playing.
It sounds like he's the 5th backer.
He's the 5th, and they only want to play 4, but he just may sneak in there. And Dallas Golden is just balling out. He is getting some looks at punt return. I don't know if that's as the top guy or what, but Dallas Golden having a tremendous camp. So what do you think about some of these freshmen, Tim?
I was going to say, going off of the last practice report, you got both corners are freshmen. So you got Golden and, Cree Thomas. So obviously they got 2 future NFL players. And then if one of them, me and my belt buckle, your belt buckle Brooks breaks, who the hell's in next? And it's like, you got a freshman, unless they throw Hobbs in there, who could be the number 3, even though he's been playing so much nickel. So, but that's very exciting. We keep talking about the 4 main wide receivers, but you're right. Elijah, hey, I always thought Elijah was like solid. He's like a, Bo Collins is type of a player, but
for Burris?
I thought he was solid. I was like, I was never.
As a recruit.
Yeah, exactly. As a recruit. Yeah, exactly. I was never blown away by his film.
He's got some shit to him, dude.
He's solid. Is he fast? Is he a playmaker? I don't know. I never really saw that on film. I thought he was an intermediate type guy. So we'll see. We'll see how he goes. But very exciting that he is legit making some plays. Flanagan's going to have to play because tight end is just really up for grabs outside of Raritan. I'm telling you, man, Payne is go back to 2023.
Payne is having a good camp.
Is a violent running back. And let's don't forget, everyone wants to talk about Wildcat and all that. They went Wildcat on the goal line. He scored against Ohio State. Violently ran through those Buckeyes. So for a touchdown. But you're all right. Nolan James is a stud.
Yeah.
Super. That's a huge get away from. And you look back, you're like, how the hell is that guy just going to Boston College? Because his film is unbelievable. So him and Nia, they're all, to me, the same type of running backs. Very skillful.
Yep.
Very exciting.
Versatile. Yep.
Obviously, Jadon Blair, I've heard about him. It's nice. Just Condor back there roaming the field. So
my folks, my sources say that he is the first time you see him, it looks like you think he's a D end, and it's
seriously. There's some of the film that Tyler James posted of just them, just doing, all the safeties together, doing drills. And they all look like, they're all DNs. Like every single one of those dudes looks like they're 6'4" and just pass rushing. So they're nice. It's awesome to hear about Madden Faramo, battling, really locking in that 5th spot. Hopefully we see him as a pass rusher. Just get his feet wet, because he was a stud pass rushing in high school. So especially as his junior year. So I hope we see a lot of that. And then, who am I missing? Real quick on the old line. It's funny. You do the breakdown of the film the other day. Will Black was all of a sudden you see 65, getting his nose all bloodied in there in between Ashton Craig and Anthony Knapp. And there's Will Black basically playing with the one lines, getting some reps in there at left guard, which was awesome to see. And then I'm telling you, look at the size. Go back like a half a millisecond. The size of Matty Augustine. The fact that you can tell Joe Rudolph loves him because he personally mentioned him. And he has played right tackle, left tackle. He's played a little bit of guard, I've heard. Played all
what
right
number
tackle.
is he, Tim?
the giant left tackle next to Will Black. He makes Will Black look little. He's playing left tackle right here. So however your rewind skills are.
Is this him right here?
Yeah.
We're in the fifth.
Yeah. Was he 58? I believe whatever his number was at Nap. I don't know. I just know players. But he's giant. And for Coach Rudolph to talk about him, and it's funny, I went back and looked at my notes. I talked about him in the blue and gold game. He was one of my surprises. Just like, bam, I saw him play. I was like, that's an NFL tackle. He is going to be a dude by year 3, but it sounds like he could definitely maybe crack a 2 deep. Is he developing into that 4th offensive tackle between, you got Knapp, Wagner, Lambert, and the volleyball drill.
Good with Marcus.
Yeah, it's a block punt drill right there. But so that's really cool to see Matty Augustine kicking some butt out there. So, and obviously Will Black, the fact that they're force feeding him to get on the field. They love their 2 tackles. They know Gerby Lambert's more than likely the 3rd guy to go in. So they're making Black. When you're called upon on the interior, we're calling you. Because until obviously Jagasaw's back. So very, very, very exciting news for those 2 offensive linemen. And people go back and find I'm telling you, man, Augustine, he dwarfs Will Black, and Will Black is 6'7".
Yeah.
So that's super, super impressive.
Yeah. Cree Thomas had a great spring from what I heard. I haven't heard as much, not one way or another, in fall camp. But yeah, you mentioned Jadon Blair, who I didn't talk about before. Chris Burgess I think he's got a really high ceiling.
Player, by the way. Oh my God, he looks unbelievable in pads and some of the drills that we've had film on. That's a good looking football player right there.
Yeah, a lot of reason to be excited about the future of this program. Tim, let's talk about the recruiting class.
Sure.
Speaking of future of the program, we're not going to dive into the weeds of this for folks who maybe aren't really into recruiting, but just to kind of give an overarching look at this class, it could be done. It could be done. They have 27 commitments, a blue chip ratio of 74%, Tim, which would be there's an article idea, Tim.
That's a big,
I'm going to jot that down. Break down Notre Dame's blue chip ratio for the last 10 years. BCR last 10 years.
Yeah, 87 was 13. And then the best is the 08. Like 19 out of the 20 signees were blue chips.
So 74. I mean, and let's just look at some past years for Notre Dame. 56 was last year.
Average the last 2 years.
57, 2024. 78, 2023. That is actually damn high.
Handful of left, but that's why you always got to calculate that there. But still, you are right. Signing
77 in 2022. Yeah, 2021 was 48%, 59 in 2020. So that, and then 2019, 73. So this 2026 is 74% is very good, especially Tim. Let me go back and look at this. So you had 25 commits last year, 23 in 2024, 23 in 2023, and 2022, you had 22 commits. So I point this out. It's like Singer, stop saying 20. Damn it. That's more commits. So it's harder to have a higher blue chip ratio the more guys you have in the class, right? It's just simple math. So that's impressive. That 74% with 27 is very, awesome. Very, very good. So they get Elijah Golden, Tim. Now, when we recorded that video, if you go on our YouTube channel, you can see us talk about Elijah Golden's commitment. We recorded that maybe a month before he announced, or 3 weeks.
It was a while ago. We prepped that, yes.
So, like, in that video, you might see like a harsh cut. It's because I'm like, man, Notre Dame beat out Alabama here. It's been those 2 teams for a while. It's because we recorded that like June 12th or something, or July 12th, before we thought it was going to be like a July, 26th. I was going on vacation or something, so we recorded it.
Yep.
And yeah, so we didn't really talk about the recruiting win in that video, but I did put up a video earlier today talking about Elijah Golden a little bit more. Huge defensive line recruiting win for the Irish, beating out Oklahoma, who really pushed, from what I'm told, with some, we'll just say intriguing NIL opportunities. But I mean, you have the fourth defensive lineman out, Tim. They could be done in the 26 class. Would you be pretty fired up? Let's just say they are done. Would you feel pretty good about this class?
Oh yeah, I mean we've talked about it multiple times. A hell of a class, skill guys, DBs, outstanding offensive linemen that they battled. Got guys away from Michigan and Penn State. The two DNs. You got two bookends that are unbelievable. The DBs stack on top of last year's DB class, where we talked about last year's being arguably the best class since the great 1990 class with Holtz and all those DBs that went to the NFL. This one might even be better than last year. So two great running backs, should be a 5-star tight end. Two running backs, two blue chip running backs. It's outstanding to see, getting those two guys. But no, it's a hell of a group, man. It really is. And then you got the quarterback that committed so long ago. He's kind of like the forgotten guy in this class. When you look at Grubbs and his recruiting, but man, he's still there. It's a great group. The wide receivers are interesting to me. I feel like you just got so many slots. Who is that true outside type of a guy? I'm curious.
Finley and Fitzgerald.
We'll see. I think Finley's way better on the inside, but we'll see how that goes. Greathouse was an outside guy. He's moved to inside. We'll see. Everything's different when you move up a level, and we'll see how they go when they move up a level at Notre Dame. But Faison's the lowest ranked guy, and he's probably the quickest son of a gun out there.
Yeah, he's thought of highly in his area,
and it's exciting because at the end of the day, it should be a top 5 group. It just should, and that would be obviously the first one since 13, and then Weiss had 3 straight top 5 classes in his tenure, and that's it. That's it in a while. Bob Davie had a couple, and Holtz had a bunch of them, but the recruiting, we all know it's been that 10 to 15 type range. Even with Freeman, the last couple of years, 10, 11. Oh my God, are we going to hit 12? Are we going down? But that national title run, people are rallying. Notre Dame had a hell of a year, and it should be a solid top 5 group at the end of the day, especially with some of these high elite players go out and kick ass their senior years. It's like, how is O'Brien not moving up? How is so-and-so not moving up? A couple, pegs here and there, and bump these ratings to solidify that top 5 at the end.
Yeah. The first class that Freeman signed, which was, he was the DC, and then Kelly left. That was number 6 in the country, but
it's an ugly 6, man. I mean, over half of that, I think over half of that class is gone.
And the thing about that is, like, it ranked 6, but like, was it better than 2023 that ranked 10? Which that's also had a lot of guys leave. But I don't know. I don't think that class was truly indicative of like the number 6 best team in the country. I feel like that was the year that Bama, A&M, and Georgia cleaned up all of the top ranked guys. So I feel like they kind of stole so many. That was like the first NIL recruiting year. So that was kind of warped. So Notre Dame was like 6, but their class score was barely above the 2023 class for the Irish, which was 4 spots different. So it was 6 in 2022, 10 in 2023, 11 in 2024, and the 2025 class ended up 12.
Well, that's right. It is 10, 11, 12 the last 3 years. Yep.
Yeah, which is like, man, it's getting worse. The 4 cycles before 2018 to 2021 finishes of 11, 14, 18, and 11. So it's, it's getting better from a ranking standpoint. But what's more important than rankings is winning football games. And Notre Dame, I mean, look, it's not like Freeman took a Kelly roster to the playoff. Like, yes, there were still some Kelly guys on the team last year, but that was Freeman's roster, that was a Marcus Freeman roster that he just got there. And Notre Dame winning their first major postseason bowl in decades. And they did it twice.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's hard. And this is where I've just come on recruiting, hard to look back because it is just so different. You could sign these giant classes because you almost have to, because of the way so many bodies are leaving now, after a year, 2 years. So you got to constantly replenish them. So they're going to be signing 25, man classes probably each and every year. So when you look at it, they're like, oh, Kelly only signed 17 that year. Well, yeah, because he redshirted 12 the previous 2 years. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, you're stuck at that 85 number. You're always playing with that. It feels like that thing is just thrown out the window, and they're just going to keep replenishing, stacking rosters. So it's, no, but at the end of the day, it is exciting, man. That national title, people are like, oh, I've seen people talk on the message board or Twitter. What's the difference this year? Easy. They went to the national championship game. Let's be honest.
It's had more of an impact than I thought. I've never covered a team that played in the national title game.
The whole, Marcus Freeman's Marcus Freeman's been like the last few years, and they went 10, 11, 12. So the difference is he went out and they won monster football games.
On the national stage, proved it to recruits.
Yes.
Notre Dame's cooler than ever.
Yep.
Notre Dame's always able to attract the high academic kids, but it's the
messaging is real.
I'm talking to more kids who are picking Notre Dame or highly considering Notre Dame who don't have academics in their number 1 or number 2 reasons in picking a school. You can now go to Notre Dame. Okay, so if I write an article about a kid and I say, hey, what interests you about Notre Dame? And he doesn't say academics. Well, a lot of people on the message board say, well, Notre Dame's not getting that kid. This ain't your dad's Notre Dame, bro. This ain't your grandpa's Notre Dame, bro. People are now coming to Notre Dame for football. They want to play for Mike Mickens and be developed by Mike Mickens, right? This is a different era. Marcus Freeman is awesome. Now these kids growing up, their favorite players like Jeremiah Love, he's the coolest out there. He's like the coolest cat, right? So it's just different. It is different, and that is a great thing. You're still able to get those really, really high academic kids. But there was a comment earlier. I had it start up and then I unstarted it, so I can't pull it up. But let's get this Canes guy out of here.
No, I was going to say real quick when I say the messaging.
Well, hold on. Let me finish my. That I just banned that guy. He won. I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, Tim. I don't remember what else.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see the guy in the chat. But anyway, when I say the messaging, it goes back to that. Oh, Notre Dame, Freeman lost guys at the end. I'm a firm believer when Freeman's recruiting Keon Keeley and he's like, do I go to this guy who's never done anything or do I go to Nick Saban? Those things happen, and that's true in recruiting. Now, a few years have gone by, some big wins. And when I say the messaging, Freeman's been consistent with his messaging, to choose hard, all that stuff. And he's starting to point to his own life, other players' lives. This guy's injured. He's involving more of the alums and their, marketing CEOs, all these Notre Dame guys all across the country. He's using them a lot more than in the past. It's just honest, as you know. They're using a ton of them out there. So guys are starting to see that. Yeah, and when you go to the national title and you're like, man, it can be done. You can go to Notre Dame, go to class, get your head kicked in chemistry class, lift weights, play football at a high level, and go live an amazing life afterwards. And that messaging's really, really starting to just have more legs than ever. So that's what's really exciting. I think moving forward, as you know, you and Kyle Kelly are already talking about 27, and 27's already starting to be. 27. Hell, Mike, it's 3 commits, and they're all deep South guys. So it's like they're starting to do it in 27, maybe better than this 26 class. As long as Notre Dame goes out and kicks butt again this year, just start compounding that, that's where the damn excitement's really, really starting to take place.
A couple of comments. Tex ND said blue chip means a 4 or 5 star, right? That's correct. So it's 74% of the classes either ranks a 4 or 5 star. That's just what the blue chip ratio means. Now it's like, what truly is a blue chip? To me, a blue chip is like a top 100 guy. It's like that's my opinion. That's if I write like an elite player, it's usually a top 100 player. It's just my definition. But for the blue chip ratio, it is 4 and 5 star. And then Mark said, which guys are most likely to become blue chips this year? Tiki right now is just on the fringe, and he is a 4 star. But of the 3 stars, Frizel's got a 4-star ranking by Rivals on 3's old rankings, now Rivals. Man, I think Devin Fitzgerald ends up a 4-star by the industry ranking.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
see, I look at these 3 stars and I'm like, I'm cool with them. I have no issues with them.
I think Charlie Tom's got a really good chance to end up a 4-star. Sullivan Garvin was, and then I dropped down for whatever reason. Kobe Clapper, I think, is slept on, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, what else? What else can Kobe Clapper do at the high school level that he hasn't already done to get a 4-star ranking? If he has not a 4-star now, I don't know if he's going to be. Like, I love that prospect. So for me, of these industry ranking 3 stars, which take into account 24/7 ESPN Rivals, I think Frizel and Tom have the best, and then Fitzgerald. I could see those seem to be ascending.
Well, if someone's ascending, who's dropping? Who are the bottom 3? Who are the bottom 3 blue chips? Who is it? Smith?
Tiki Hola, Braden Robinson, and Chaston Smith.
Okay. So, yeah. Hey,
which Smith just had a huge bump by Rivals. Tiki, I think he should be stuck up. And Braden Robinson, I'm like, he's just small, but like, what else did the guy have to do? He's so extremely productive at the high school level and big time ball in the state of Texas.
It's a great class. I mean, this is almost. I mean, this class could easily end at 80% blue chip. I mean, seriously, it's a hell of a class. It really is. So, and to keep it in that top 5, it's Premer and some of these other guys moving up. True move up with some of these guys into that top. Just stay right around that 5-star level and bump up and solidify a top 5 class, which is awesome.
Yeah, Notre Dame could have a few. Herrick says blue chip ratio will increase. I think it'll stay about the same. Some guys drop, some guys move up. I think it'll be right around between 72 and 78% or so at the end of the cycle. But yeah, Dunham's a 5-star right now by the industry ranking. O'Brien could be there. O'Brien and Carr Adams are right there. Ian Premer is like one tight end move up in our rankings away from being a 5-star. Like
those 4 have a legit argument to be a top 32.
Yeah,
they just do.
They do. And then Ebenezer with a big senior season, I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN and 24/7 is like, oh, Rivals has him ranked a 5-star, which very well could be the case. Then they'll follow suit. I wouldn't be surprised. So you legitimately could have 5-star prospects, which Notre Dame hasn't had or has not had in the internet era. 5. I mean, we'll see. It's early.
Yeah.
That would be best
5.
case.
It would be awesome to have a true 3.
Yeah, 3
was industry. 3 would be unbelievable. Yes.
Yeah. Which in some years, Grayson McHugh. Thank you, Ryan Barkley, for mentioning Grayson. Notre Dame Rivals has got him right there as well. So when you look at least according to one of the rankings, Notre Dame could have 5,
6.
So
great call there.
All right, that is going to do it for this week's show. If you're just tuning in, rewind, watch from the beginning. Had a lot of good discourse about the quarterback battle, breaking down the AP poll, true freshman talk, recruiting here to end the show. So great stuff today. We will be live next tomorrow, the Notre Dame 6-Pack show with local beat writers Jack Sobel and Tyler Horka, and then we'll have our recruiting show later this week. We're actually going to do a Q&A recruiting show, so make sure you tune in for that on Friday afternoon. Again, hit the thumbs up if you have not done so yet, folks, and as always, we will catch you next time.